Hello there, I am Miss Sasha and I am the Key Stage 3 English lead at Turner Free School. I'm really excited to talk to you today about what we offer in terms of GCSEs in English. So the first and most important thing to understand about GCSE English is that we actually offer two separate qualifications, and all of our scholars do both of those qualifications. So there is one GCSE in GCSE English Language, and then there is a second separate GCSE for GCSE English Literature. Both of those GCSEs are 100% exam assessed, and the exam board that we choose to use at Turner Free School is AQA. We choose that exam board for a number of reasons, partly because of the quality of text that they offer for our scholars to study, but also because it's a really high quality, rigorous GCSE that really sets scholars up well for A-level if they choose to study English literature later on in their academic career. There is also an unassessed spoken language component to the GCSE, which I will explain in a little bit more detail towards the end of the presentation. So I'm going to cover GCSE English Literature first of all. In GCSE English Literature, we read, analyse and respond to a range of high quality literary texts. Our scholars at TFS are already very well practiced at doing this, and they're also experts at doing this as well. So there are two exams for English literature. In paper one, the scholars will study Shakespeare and a 19th century novel. So the texts we have chosen to study are Macbeth by William Shakespeare and A Christmas Carol by Charles Dickens. So Macbeth is one of Shakespeare's most famous tragedies. It is full of treachery and intrigue and murder. It is a really exciting play to read. A Christmas Carol we've chosen that because it's kind of the flip side to Macbeth. It's a heartwarming tale. Ebenezer Scrooge is a mean, miserable and bitter old man until he's visited by three ghosts who take him to his past, his present and his future. By the end of the story, Scrooge learns to love Christmas as well as the people all around him. Now, lots of our scholars have already been lucky enough to watch a performance of A Christmas Carol virtually at the Old Vic, so lots of them will already be familiar with the story. The paper one is assessed through a written exam. It is 1 hour and 45 minutes long, and it's worth 40% of the overall English literature GCSE. In paper two, they study a play called An Inspector Calls. This is another really interesting, really exciting play. It's about a wealthy family and the role that they have played in the death of a young woman. The scholars will also study power and conflict poetry. I really, really love teaching the poetry to scholars because it takes them on a journey both through history and through across the world, because there are poems from all different periods of time and poems from lots of different countries. So it's a really, really interesting unit of work. The scholars will also study unseen poetry. So we will equip them with the skills to be able to respond to poems that they have never seen before. Again, it is assessed in a written exam. The exam is 2 hours and 15 minutes long, and it's worth 60% of their overall GCSE English literature. So that's the English literature GCSE. As I've said, there is a second GCSE that they sit in English language. Now, in this GCSE, scholars will read fiction and non-fiction texts, a whole range of different texts. And they will also write. They will write to describe or to tell a story, and they will learn to write persuasively and argumentatively. Again, there are two exams. In paper one, there is a section A that is reading and a section B that is writing. In the reading part, they have one literature fiction text and they have to answer 4 questions. Those questions cover comprehension, retrieval and analysis. So throughout the course, we will practice with a whole range of different texts and practice being able to answer those questions. In the writing part of the exam, they have to either write a description or write a narrative, a story. Again, our scholars are very, very practiced at this, and they are very, very good at it. So none of this will be scary or new to them. They are all really ready for this GCSE. It is assessed in a written exam. It is 1 hour, 45 minutes, and it is worth 50% of the overall English language GCSE. Paper 2 is very similar to paper 1, only this time there are 2 texts, not 1, and 1 is a non-fiction text and 1 is a literary non-fiction text. Again, it's followed by 4 questions where the scholars have to comprehend, they have to retrieve information, and they have to analyse the text in various different ways. So again, throughout the course, we will practice doing that with the scholars. Section B is again writing, and this time they have to write to present a viewpoint, so they have to usually either persuade or argue. It's a written exam, and it is 1 hour 45 minutes again, and again worth 50% of the overall English language GCSE. So that's the English language GCSE. The only other part to the course is throughout the course, the scholars take part in a range of different spoken language activities. They will learn to present, they will learn to respond effectively to questions and feedback, and they will learn to use standard English. This part of the course is entirely teacher assessed. It doesn't actually go towards their final GCSE grade, but it is still a part of the course that we take part in. Thank you ever so much for your time today. If you do have any further questions or you want to know anything else about how we can support your scholar with taking these GCSEs, then please do drop me an email. My email is elizabeth.sarche@turnerschools.com. Thank you very much. Bye.